Hi there, welcome back. In today's video we're going to use most of the elements I think that you can see in front of you. Now a lot of what I'm showing you now are some of the lovely goodies that came in the Mermaid Treasures resin kit from Resin Jewels and Resin Detra Supplies. Their contact information will be in the description box below, along with links and so on. We're not actually going to use both of those vases. We're only going to use the one, and we're going to start off by using some UV resin. So even that little container there that I'm just squidging a load of UV resin into, that also came in the kit. So it was a very, very practical kit, full of loads of lovely things, lots of lovely goodies. So literally, there we go. I'm just pouring in a little bit to start with. Look at those lovely starfish on the right of the screen. Oh, by the way, I should just say, the little pink flower you can see is made, it's something we have to hand that I had a little practice making something with. It's a lotus flower, and we used the mould, the silicone mould that we got from a Temu haul to make that. We've made a few things with lotus flowers, which you'll have seen in previous videos. And if not, why not check out our playlist, where you'll find a whole list of videos to give you some inspiration, guidance, and just show you how we got on with things that we were doing. Right, so we're going to use some of this beautiful blue coloured mica powder, which sometimes looks blue, sometimes looks a bit bluey green. Now I did put rather a lot in there. Oh, it's going to come off the stick. I'm just using a little mini stir stick to do this. You can use whatever you would normally use. Giving it a bit of a stir up. Realise at this point, Laura, you're getting it all over your hands. Mica powder does just wash off, but really I would suggest wearing some gloves. So I knew then at this point I was going to need a lot more UV resin. So back to the UV resin. Squidged in a whole load more UV resin into that lovely little pot, and then mixed it all up. It really is a beautiful blue colour. I haven't seen any other brands that have made this kind of colour mica powder to go into resin, or if you're mixing it up, adding it into paint pours and things like that as well. I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So I knew that was the consistency I wanted. Now, I've got loads of these sorts of things that I've made in the past, and at this point I'm trying to decide for definite what I wanted to do. Now you can see the backs of some of those are white, opaque white. That's because they've been made using polyurethane resin. Again, we've used that in some different videos before. Look at that beautiful shell. Love that. That was made die dusting mould with silver metallic powder. There we are. Oh, look at that one. That one's more of a gunmetal grey. But we've got lots. We've got lots of things. And oh, look, a mini dragonfly too. Right. So, back to the vase. I had to have one hand doing one thing, one hand doing another. You know, multitasking. Now, if you are lucky and you have the assistance of somebody else, you can always get them to, you do the squiggling on like I'm doing of the UV resin, and then for them to actually then go in and cure it with the light for you. Totally up to you. But I'm doing it on my own at this point. And all I've done there is use the stir stick and just drizzled on some of the UV resin. Now the UV resin is quite thick, and then I'm immediately going in with the torch, the UV torch, and curing it. So I found it easier just to do a couple of bits at a time rather than trying to do loads and then putting it under the lamp, because I had more control of where it was going. Now you can see there it's starting to build up. I suppose my idea here was that maybe it looks, I don't know, maybe it looks a little bit like is it not plankton? Because plankton's never blue, but maybe a bit like coral, perhaps, under the sea. Although coral I know isn't normally blue, but you know, a bit of the old artistic license was happening here. So obviously this video's been sped up a bit, so it's not as lengthy as some of our videos, but here you can see the idea I was going for. A little bit like candle wax that's run down a candle holder or something like that as well. That's also what that reminds me of. Now, I wasn't sure what I was going to try and put on to the outside of the vase. I definitely wanted it to have an underwater theme because I was using the lovely ingredients and things from the Mermix, not the Mermix, I keep saying Mermix, the Mermaid Treasures kit. That's because it's got a pot of Mermix that I'm looking at currently. I knew I wanted to try and incorporate this without really overdoing it, but I wanted to tie it in with the previous video to this one, which was a Mermaid Treasures collection. So again, I was still being inspired by that. So here we go. We're going to use some super glue. This time I've remembered to keep my gloves on and not get it on hopefully not get it on my skin. Now, I did find that some of them stuck better than others. I don't know why that is. I'm not particularly fond of this brand of super glue. As I say, you know, everything we use in our videos gets linked if we got links in the description box. I will link this brand of super glue, but I wouldn't necessarily run out to buy it again. Once we've used it all, we'll go back to using the super glue by a certain gorilla company, if you know what I mean, or traditional super glue if we can find it. But there we go. So just trying to decide where I'm positioning the shells, and then immediately going in with the super glue, as you can see there, and then trying my best to get them to stick to the outside of this vase. Now, what I haven't done to the finished piece of this is to cover all of it in a layer of clear resin. Now, you can do that. You can also try spraying it with some craft sealer perhaps, or a varnish if you want to do that. I'm going to let this one sit for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my mind up then. But the end shot of this one is before it's been all completely sealed. I mean, what you've got to remember with these pieces is that you should not be immersing them in water. Do not put them in the dishwasher. You really shouldn't. You can wipe over the outside of them with a dry cloth, but not rinsing it with sponges and things like that. Please don't do that. Can't guarantee that it won't ruin your piece or that the things might not all come off the outside. That being said, you know, I haven't tried it myself. I don't want to. I don't want to ruin any pieces. But as I said, you know, you could cover the whole thing in clear resin. You could put it on a cup turner and keep it going, and then just lightly, you just use it, just pour some on and use your hand, a gloved hand, just to cover it completely, and then keep it turning with over a silicone mat or a coaster or something to catch all the drips, and just leave it to keep going till it completely cures, and do that. In fact, I think we might actually do that. But yeah, so there we go. I'm just continuing to place on these lovely little shells. And as I said, some stuck better and quicker than others. This super glue, it seems to take a lot longer than traditional super glues, another super glue that I've used. The other ones I've used, you put a dot of it on the back, you put it onto where you want it to stick to, and it's seconds and it's there. Like less than 10 seconds, and it's gripped it, it's adhered to it, you can't move it. This one, as you can see, it was just like, oh, it's not stuck. You know, I'm going to have to put some more on and try again. So that's why I say, although there will be a link in the description box to this particular product, we've both said, myself and Wayne, that we wouldn't buy this one again. But there you go. It could be user error as well, mind you. It could really be user error. Right. Now, I was desperate to put these fish, or to put some fish somewhere on a vase. Somewhere. But they're quite difficult to place. It's not like I've just done them and they're made with epoxy resin. So they're still maybe a bit more malleable, a bit more bendable. So you could shape them to the external shape of the vase. So if you got for using traditional resin, then that's a good point. You know, don't wait a full 24 hours. Wait till they've cured, but cured enough so you can remove them from the mould, and then put them on the outside of the vase, and you can mould them more to the shape, the outer shape of the vase, rather than using ones like I've got here, which are made from PU resin, polyurethane resin. And yeah, don't bend, aren't malleable, and don't necessarily always look quite so good. I mean, they are sticking, which is great. But I have a feeling that one might be upside down. It was a bit difficult. No, that one's not upside down. It's a little bit difficult to tell. So yeah, so those did stay on. And then look at these gorgeous things. These are the little rock stars of the starfish world, I think, with all their bling. But again, you see what I mean? They weren't sticking either. It was, yeah. But again, these are some lovely, like, little charms and things that have come from the Mermaid Treasures resin kit from Resin Jewels and Resin Detra Supplies. There, honestly, as I've said before, there's so much in that kit. Very, very good value for money. Very good value for money. Hope you've enjoyed the previous videos that we've done, where we've used some of the lovely things from that kit. Drop us a comment and let us know. Let us know if you've been able to get the kit, what you've made with yours. If not, ideas that maybe we could do to make other, mermaid themed things in the future. There we go. So just trying to stick that one on as well. There. So I'm also going to do a technique. I decided to do the technique on this vase that I'd also done previously in the previous video to this, where I'm just going to build. I just think it needs a little something to tie it all in together, to link the shells together. I don't know, it just needed a little something else. It wasn't finished. So I'm not happy. I will never bring you something unless I'm completely happy to bring it to you. And sometimes, yes, I will still bring you things that I don't think have worked particularly well. I will bring those to you as well. We will upload most of those. It's only if it was a complete disaster that we probably wouldn't upload the video. But yeah, I mean, this is very much the learning experience for us as well. We've only been doing this channel, I think, since July last year, where we took part in a collaboration with Claire's Crafty Corner and a lot of other resin artists and hobbyists and enthusiasts, general crafters, and uploaded things, and we're part of a big collaboration. It was brilliant fun. And that was then we got the bug. We thought, let's have a go. Let's see where we go. And we've gone from having 7 subscribers to having nearly 1,300 subscribers, I think, in what I feel is a very short space of time. It's a bit sort of unreal, really. We've got plenty of videos for you to have a look at. And yeah, and hopefully enjoy. So here we go. As you can see, I've used the small beads. I've used some of the little bits of blue glass, and I've used some of the lovely glitter there. And the idea was to build it all up round the bottom, up round the shells, and then go up the whole height of the glass with some of the glitter. So you can see around the bottom here. Very, very similar to what a technique I've done in the previous video. I just think it finishes it off. It just gives it that little something extra. Yeah, it just looks beautiful. There we go. So again, you wouldn't have to use this as a vase. You could literally just use it as a piece, a nice interior home decor pieces that you can just leave on display in a bathroom, on a bookshelf, really anywhere in your home. Nice beach themes, mermaid themes. There we are. So here's a little bit of some shots of some close-ups of it. Please excuse all the mess in the background that you can see. I really need to sort out the crafting area, but you know, I'm a messy crafter. But there we go, look at that. So you can see with those lovely little blue strands going up that I used the UV resin for, I've added in some more of those beautiful little beads and some of the lovely glitter. There we are. Almost like little bubbles coming up from the ocean floor, from the seabed, where all these lovely mermaid treasures are. Makes a change from seeing pirate treasure and things. But yeah, there we are. You'll have to let me have my little bit of artistic license there with that. I think it looks beautiful. Beautiful. And there we are. So here's your final picture now, the final sequence, a bit of film. It was quite difficult to do the final shot of this, so apologies. This is in the kitchen, so sorry about that. But I've done my best. Had to elevate it slightly so you can see it. So you can see a little plastic cup underneath. Apologies for that, but I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and we will see you again very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.